Hey guys, this is what I have kind of scheduled for you for the next few weeks. This is all on Mathspace. We have each of these things each week, a couple different things each week. What I want you guys to do is work on these for about an hour each day. And these are going to kind of do just kind of a review summary of everything that we've learned so far this year and kind of help you like notice where you might have holes, things that you might not be remembering as well as other things so you know what you need to study. If you go over here into topics, once you've done one of those kind of test things to see what you remember and what you don't, you may have to change this. United States of America, national, and you'll have to go to the very bottom, which you actually can't even see on my screen right now. The very bottom, it says World of Math USA 2017 edition. That's what you need it to say right up here. World of Math USA 2017 edition. If it doesn't say that, click on it, go in and find that. And then you're going to scroll clear down almost to the bottom. Maybe farther than this. Yeah. Here we go. So limits, and then it'll bring up all these subtopics on limits. And if you've taken the test on it, it'll kind of start to fill in this bar with about how well it thinks you know that thing. And then you can click on it and look at a lesson or practice the stuff that you might need to practice. This introduction doesn't have practice, but this one does. And if you click on practice, it'll just give you questions there to practice. I just want to show you kind of what it will look like if you've already done it. So these are some things that it says that from doing that test to see what I remembered that I've got pretty well. Some of them, maybe it didn't test, or maybe you didn't do as well on those sections. Some of them, like this, is just a proof, so it doesn't have like a level of learning on it. So they kind of fill in like that. See, this one doesn't have anything filled in, so this is something I should probably go back and review. So this is what you guys kind of will be doing. That'll do that kind of pre-test, which is kind of long. It takes, it might take you even like 2 hours to do one of those testing things just to see what you remember and what you don't. On that test, it will give you the option to skip questions if you just feel like, oh, this is something I don't know. Just skip it, and then you'll be able to come back in here and practice. So there's all of this stuff for you to look at. So the first week, I'm just going to have you do limits and rates of change. And then the second week, differentiation. And then the third week, integration. And then also it has, when we're doing calculus with trig functions, inverse trig functions, exponential functions, logarithms, it has that all as separate topics. But I didn't want to make you do all of those, so I just have some of this mixed functions stuff when you're doing your integration stuff as well. So that's kind of what we're going to be doing for the next few weeks. I'm going to show you now just kind of how you type stuff into Mathspace and how that's going to work so that you kind of know how that works. So this example is just to show you how you have to be really careful about your notation and also that you can show every single step of your work, which is really important. So the first step, I just rewrote the equation in calculus friendly form. The second step, the one with the x that's marked wrong, is where I did the derivative. The derivative of 2x to the 1/2 is x to the negative 1/2, but I forgot to put the prime with the y, and so it marked that wrong. So when something gets marked wrong, be careful. It might not be that you did the math part wrong. It might just be your notation's wrong. So you have to write that with the y prime, and then it still has a green check mark there, but it's not a filled in green check mark because it's not completely simplified the way the instructions said, because it says express your answer in radical form. And so then I had to change it back into radical form for the final answer for it to mark that one correct. So make sure you're really careful about your notation. And also, it's a great idea to show all of your work in Mathspace because then it will show you where you messed up. And it's not just like the final answer is wrong and you have no idea where you screwed up. You can see each step along the way exactly how things went. With this picture, I just kind of wanted to show you how you can show every little step along the way. The green check mark with the dots around the outside just means it needs to be simplified a little bit more. I've got like all the little pieces on this until it's finally simplified the way it wants. So I can tell that I'm doing correct steps, just that it's not quite in the exact most simplified form. With this last example, I just wanted to show you, even though it asks for the second derivative, I can show my work for the first derivative, and it still shows that I'm doing correct work, and then my second derivative at the end. So that's kind of the big thing on Mathspace, is just make sure that you are showing all of your steps. You don't have to show all of your steps, but if you do, it will help you to figure out where you're making mistakes and help you correct those. The last thing I wanted to talk to you about is not when you're in those tasks that are helping to assess what you remember and what you need to review, but when you actually just go in to practice some different things, there'll be icons kind of like these over on the right hand side. The little light bulb one gives you hints, and you can click for more and more hints if you're stuck. The book lets you go to a textbook that kind of explains some things, and there are some other ones as well that will show you a worked example or a video of someone working out the problem depending on the problem. So these are also a great resource for you to kind of help you remember how to do some of the things that we've learned this year. The last couple things I want to talk about are that this software, the Mathspace software, is created in Australia. So some of their vocabulary words are a little bit different than ours, but if you think about it, I think you can for the most part tell what those vocabulary words mean and what they are. And there are a couple things, especially in the integration area, that we have not gone over. So if it looks like something that you've never seen, we've never talked about, then we probably haven't. And those are things that are not going to be on the final. Integration by parts is one of those. And a couple other things, which we might talk about later on, but probably not until after we take the final. So if there's a topic that you know that we never covered, we probably haven't, so don't worry about those topics. And if you're not sure, you can ask me and I can let you know if it's something that you need to know or not. So good luck. Please don't forget to post in comments and discussions, send me emails, let me know what you're doing, where you're at, how things are going, because we don't have as much to turn in at this point in the year since we're just reviewing. But I do still need to hear from you guys every week and know that you are accomplishing stuff, and so that you can still get credit for being in class every week and get credit for the class. So good luck in reviewing for the final, and please, please, please let me know if there's anything I can do to help. I would love to help you in any way that I can. All right, thanks guys.